Welcome back, everyone. We're listening to Rain Talk episode, whatever it is. Well, right now I'm going to be talking about interesting details and issues right now. So, physically, and again with the physically again, I was, well, let me tell you a long story short, or maybe just a long story. So, remember when you were kids, and then when you're trying to grow up and stuff, and your parents can be asking you to do this chore or try to cut the mow the lawn and stuff. And expectedly, it's gonna be boring. You're gonna waste like 2 hours of your freaking life right there. And so you just say, okay, let me just accept it and just cut the grass because the last thing I don't want to hear any like, Junior, cut the grass. And then that's the last thing I want to hear. So just deal with it and cut it. But and momentarily, you're just cutting the grass and just cutting and stuff, just very boring cutting, and then until something you encounter, and you don't encounter this all, to the point that maybe shrubs or tree branches or just twigs, nonchalant, just hitting you in the face, hitting you in the back, hitting you and scratch you, maybe poke your eye out. And then when you try to show your parents, they'll be like, they feel bad, but they don't know anything about it. So what would happen is that you go and rush all the way down to your shed, grab some whatever tool you need to cut that shrub, chop that up, and then next time when you encounter that, 100% that's not gonna hit you in the face again or stab your eye or do whatever. So yeah. So remember how like a lot of people love playing games, and every time every game just pops up, it's like you have to upgrade or survival game, you have to upgrade to get good armor. My life is the opposite. My life is like every single thing I hit a shrub, I need to protect myself. Even though I'm cutting grass and I feel like a complete idiot outside. I feel like I'm wearing like 2,000 degrees of like 2,000 layers of clothing just to protect myself. So, because physically, saying it again, the last thing I want to expect is me just laying on the ground just pitch dead. Like that's that's the last thing. Just stab your eye out and no one even notice. It's like, Junior, get into the freaking house, man. It's dinner time. And you're just sitting out there, and your parents keep thinking like, oh, you're doing a suntan, to sunbathe, or some course for like 4.5 hours, and then at the last minute, it's like you just like been just passed out, or either just got hit really badly, you can't even open your eyes. Yeah, that's what it is right now. So I'm just saying, if you guys cutting grass, be careful. Might be a shrub out there that's gonna hit you in the face, like it just did hit me in the. Well, one time, a shrub kind of hit me in the eye. It didn't bleed. It just like my eye just went puffy for like 2 days. And today, the shrub just like some tree branch kind of like scratched my scalp. So I took a shower, trying to see what really happened. It's still blood everywhere over not over my face, but it's over my whole entire scalp. So I'm just saying, now next time if I want to cut grass, I'm gonna just wear like a helmet now. And the next time if I scratch myself in the back, I wear a jacket or a sweater, just to reduce the friction of me getting scratched. Because at the end, it's me getting survived by nature willingness of scratching. So, pretty interesting though. But yeah. So if you guys don't understand, is that a lot of things are getting very interesting now. But before I continue on this information, I'm saying, what's your guys' opinion on about digital license plates? Like, what's your opinion? Like, is it good? Is it bad? Is it the future? To me, I was thinking about it. It seems cool and stuff. It seems very, very cool how everything's like digitalized now in the world in the future. But something in my head, kind of like, I keep thinking of it over and over, and then something popped up in my head. It's like, what's gonna happen when a hacker somehow can control that and change something, or maybe a custom license plate for himself? Because now our cars are getting so advanced to push start. If we have push start plus the electric, like engines and stuff, reducing waste, plus with an electric license plates, what will really happen? So is it means that every car we park outside, it's electric. Is it at risk or not? Like, that's the question right there. And how is you guys' life going right now? Pretty chilling. Not a lot of rain outside. Kind of sunny and shiny. I'm just looking at the windows right now. People's just looking at me like I'm a complete crazy person talking to myself on my phone. And so I'm just kind of using some. What is it called again? Like, not blowtorch. What's the first thing that was gonna be a blowtorch for me? But yeah. So it's just saying right now. Yeah. Right now, yep. Oh yeah, and right back to a new information I was encountered. What's your guys' opinion about the iOS 13? How it's like it's really buggy, it's all glitchy, and how if you update, you kind of like screwed up with your phone, your tablet, or your iPod. Like, what's your opinion on that iOS 13 that was released? Is it it's I seen it on Snapchats and stuff. It looks really good. It looks amazing. But I keep hearing bad news that a lot of things are happening, and now they encounter like something that Facebook has actually got in their like debug. Now Mark Zuckerberg somehow, you guys can search this up. It's like something went wrong. iOS 13 figured out some type of bug that Facebook kind of like hide, and Mark Zuckerberg's kind of screwed. And they have another one where they have a bug in the system that's kind of like doing something. I don't remember what it is again, but something screwy. And I don't know if it's actually stable enough. Maybe iOS 13.1 just to make it stable even more. But what's your guys' opinion about iOS 13? Is it good? Bad? It's Apple was actually changing the whole new vamp on the iPad. And how it's changing from tablet, to iPad to computer softwares. Like, what's your guys' opinion on that? It's good, bad. To me, it's cool. It's a good evolution, little changes. But I don't feel like it's not like enough changes in iOS 13. I feel like they can try a little bit harder, a bit more. Like, I feel like they should make the update a little bit better. If you don't want to change the iPads into like a computer that's a portable, like almost like a Microsoft Surface Pro, they need to work a little bit more, a little harder on the software and releasing it as like an iOS version versus like iOS 13. They should have released something just only for the iPads called maybe, you know how like when Leopard was coming out or like Sephora came out, they should have just like a name for it, just like Windows XP or Windows 8 or Windows 8.1. That's garbage, and then Windows 10 is even more garbage than that. And then they should release it like that. So it's like iOS 13 shouldn't be iOS 13. It should just be OS 13, something like that. So people would know, like, oh, it's OS 13. This could be the new evolution. Then they're just like iOS 13, iOS 14, iOS 15, 16, 17. I feel like it's like no differences with these software big updates it's leading to. A lot of things change, like the microphone changed, multitasking has changed, things has changed, round bars has changed, how this application has changed. It's great, respect Apple's a lot, but some stuff I kind of regret to not have an Apple device. I used to have an Apple device, an iPad, and an iPod, and I used to play around with an iPhone one time, and I really dislike it. I like how easy it is, but it's not what I was looking for, and I upgrade to a tablet, and I've been having way more fun on a tablet than I'm having on an iPad. So if Apple's can somehow learn from Android OS and somehow implement what Android OS has to iOS 13, or maybe screw up and don't do this weird update how every single update they update, so it's like 13 next time if it's like another formal version is left, or like iOS 16 or 17 or 18, the device is gonna break purposely. Like, it is proof that they're purposely breaking your device with every server like software update. So they decrease the speed and decrease slowness. So yeah, I try that when one of my devices are running on, I think iOS 6 or 7 around there. And since I updated to like the latest to like iOS like 9 or whatever, I started noticing the slowness really bad. Like it went from fast response to really slow. And it's not the greatest marketing technique. I feel like a lot of marketing people may understand like this is what they need to do to get new devices out. But is it that just seems a little bit messed up? It's like saying I will update your Windows 10, right? But Windows 11 is coming out. So let's update and break Windows 10 for you. Like, what's going on here? Like, what's going on with the system, people? Please tell me. What's going on with the system? Doesn't really make any sense. They're breaking the software. They're trying to make it like this, and I don't even understand the logic, right? It's either I'm just ranking up in apples too much, or I'm just ranking up in my ideas too much, my opinions, but this is true. Like, they're physically breaking software. And by breaking software, they kind of like decrease things. So it's like if the phone you bought one time that was 10x, and it's running on iOS 10, and or let's just say like a decreased one, let's say like iPhone 6 or iPhone 6 Plus, and it's running on iOS 7, right? And you want iOS 10, 99.9%, that phone will go 10 times slower than the before. 99.9%. Don't know why they done that. Android does the exact same thing a lot, but I don't see like a quite big dramatic difference in Apple's physically. So, and also, you guys have any questions that what's gonna happen in the future of Apple's? Like, is it still gonna be like this type of market that just keeps breaking devices and going on, or people are actually gonna stop and know what Apple is and then switch to Android? Like, what do you guys' opinion it's gonna be about it? Because to me, I switched to Android a while back, like really long, and I'm much happier in Android than I'm on an iOS. Because on iOS, if I'm outdated, then I'm outdated. Android is the same thing. Their updating is really messed up. I do agree with that. Unless you have the Pixel, the Google's Pixel, then that's the only phone that might update really well on. But I don't physically really matter. If you just have something that's the latest, then you should be fine. iOS is like, no, you better update from 7 to 8 to 9 to 10 to 11 to 12 to 13. We want you to update all the versions, but by updating all the versions, you break the phone and you have the brand new one. That was Apple. So right now, I'm just ending this entire podcast right now. Please like, subscribe, and write something down below in the comments below, and think and ask something about it. Like, what's your guys' opinion on it? What you guys think about? You guys have any like controversy that you guys want to rank up, or we can talk about later on? Just leave it in the comments below. Maybe we talk about it next episode.